Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to You've Championed Yourself. Who are you? Today, my name's Chris Ferguson, your host, and it's always been a dream of mine to showcase ordinary people doing extraordinary things in life for themselves and for others. Those who have taken their dreams, their ideas, and turned it into their reality. They've reached beyond their personal struggles, their personal pains, and their traumas, where so many people give up and lose hope. There are the few that can walk through their obstacles and challenges. They don't know where it's going to take them. They just trust enough not to give up and to do the follow through in their personal life, their career, and relationships. And this is what I call a champion in life. And today I have an earth angel. She's amazing. Her name is Dr. Ida Greene. And let's bring her into the podcast. Hi, sweetheart.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm awesome. I am so excited to do this because it's like you're my mother from I'm your daughter from another mother. And we have so many similarities. And it's like I followed footsteps and didn't even know I was following them.
Wow, okay.
Because can we talk about your backstory on where you started from and where you are now?
Yeah, absolutely. I started out in Florida, and during that time that I grew up, certainly there was segregation, was also a lot of problem in terms of African Americans and other races of people, especially Caucasian people integrating. And so in that background, I got the desire, at least my mother gave me that, planted that seed in my mind, get an education. That is something no one can take away from you. And so I really honed into that, and I got an education. I became first of my family to graduate from high school. I went on, became a registered nurse. I got my bachelor's, got my master's. I got my teacher credential, lifetime teacher credential. I was a school nurse, and then I went on to become a licensed marriage and family therapist. I'm doing coaching. One of the biggest things is I really started my nonprofit, which really got me into working with kids. And that was a really beautiful thing. So I'm still doing that now. Plus I'm doing some other work, but it's just been a beautiful journey of progression, getting in with the angels and now with my spirit guides. So it's a journey of love and labor, but I really have enjoyed the labor. Plus, in the process of talking about all my pain and sorrow, I wrote 22 books because I needed all of that avenue to express who I was as a person. So it's a journey, and the journey continues. It hasn't stopped.
I love that. I love that. And yes, I was born in the late 50s, but I did see the segregation. I did see all the things that were people of color or people of ethnicity were getting what they deserved as human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing was, is the fact is that there was people on the north of this country before we became a country that fought for people so that they could be equal. And from that moment on, it's like, it's all about humanity.
Yes.
It's not about color.
We were friends with the Indians. In fact, I have Indian heritage. My grandfather was Cherokee Indian. So, I've been all of that stuff.
Well, see, my great grandmother was Cherokee, and she was Black Cherokee from South Carolina that had come this way. Mm-hmm. She got away from the soldiers on the Trail of Tears and ran away to Kentucky. And that's where my grandfather hid her from the soldiers. And they ended up getting married. They changed her name and got married. And so the thing is diversity is really more than just skin deep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's an understanding of life.
Absolutely, because I and my grandfather that was my great grandfather. On my father's side was Caucasian because of all this, the ties intermarriage and stuff. So and I
get it, but the thing is I love where we're going now, where we're I don't get the canceling of that, but we're starting to see each other. If we could just see each other beyond our
I
own
think the
labeling
Juneteenth
and
thing is making
intolerance.
that happen. The,
Yeah.
the acknowledgement of the Juneteenth is really having everyone celebrate that the pain and suffering that African Americans went through. This was just a really beautiful. This is the second year that it's happening. It's really awesome because people are really coming together as one, and people didn't know about that. So we have an acknowledgement and a coming together. So it's really we're really all one mankind, but it's taken humankind a long time to bring us where our heart has always been.
Well, I think before now it was all about power, control, and greed. And
Mm-hmm.
so now we're getting back to humanity, and that is where I want to be.
That's the place to be. We're all humans. We're all human beings on this leaf on God's tree. I think I told you I saw this thing of us all being leaves on God's tree. And this is where we're headed. It's taken us a long time to get there, but we're really brothers and sisters. We're all on God's tree. I think it's just that some people would have us think that we're different and apart when we're all the same, because when we come together we're very powerful. When you separate us and migrate us and keep us apart, then you can fragment us and get us into hate and negative energy and things that doesn't support the planet. So we're coming together to support humanity and love and growth and expansion, and that's where God is. That's who God is.
You're absolutely correct. That is exactly where he is. I wanted to talk about your angel therapy that you do.
Yeah, that's awesome. Working with the kids. I don't know if I told you, but I was in an abusive marriage, and to work on that, I started working heal myself with abused women, but also with abused children, foster children, and so I started. All these kids were coming to me, and they kept seeing these doves and these angels, and just staircases and all that stuff. So I wanted to find out what they were seeing. So I started interpreting the message for them. And kids can see at least 31 kids were seeing like 30 some angels, and they were talking to the angels, and so with staircase, it was just beautiful. So it got me into the angels. So I started doing angel reading and dressing like an angel, wrote a book on angels. But we really are angelic beings. I incarnate in this lifetime as an earth angel, but there are many earth angels around. All you have to do is just be willing to be a conduit and have vessels for God to work through you. So these angelic beings, my mother introduced us to angels when I was really young, and she told us we always have angels around us. And so when I went to Chicago and I didn't have anyone there to talk to, I knew I had my angels there. But angelic beings are forever around us. They are embracing us. They guide us. They keep us from having accidents and falling. Our angelic beings are just always, always there. They're very loving. They're very caring. They always bring words of joy, hope. And so what I do when I do the angel therapy with the kids, the ADHD kids, I would connect them with the angels, and the classes would have something to do so they could talk to the angels rather than fidgeting and moving all around in the room. They would be able to, with the angels, really good, because I would tell the kids, tell your teacher that you're talking to your angel. So they would call me. I would let them know that I'm teaching the kids how to use the angels to entertain them so they're not throwing things at other kids and fidgeting in the classroom. It was just such a really beautiful concept because it really helped the kids to get something tangible, because the angels, they were not taught about angels and that there was someone with them all the time. So the angel was just a beautiful form of therapy for them, and it really supported them. And I still use angel therapy today with kids who are open to that. When kids are very open to that, when they get like up to 10, 11, 12. But young, when they start talking to their friends and boyfriends, they have more other things to entertain their mind. But younger kids are open to angels, and the angels are open to them and guiding and directing them. So angels are just a beautiful, beautiful source of resource, love, support, and they're always, always there all the time, waiting for us to just use them.
Well, I love that because there are so many kids that just don't have any support and guidance. That's what got me involved with kids. But then I also was one of those kids that grew up in an orphanage that was young and didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go, who to trust, and I wasn't safe. So one of the things that while you were talking that I felt for the kids is that you help them feel safe for the first time. And that's where the healing starts.
I think it's important, for kids to feel loved because angels love unconditionally. And I was the extension of that. I gave them something that they could hold on to because they didn't in foster home without their family, without their mothers and their fathers. So they really had an opportunity to connect on something that was bigger than them, something that doesn't judge, is always loving, caring, and eternal. Angels are everywhere. You go throughout the world. I went to France. There's angels all over the place. So they really worship angels.
And I love that. But the thing is for kids that have been abandoned, for kids that are in foster care, for kids that lives have been turned up totally upside down beyond their control, all of a sudden, the first thing that they want to be is safe. And the second thing they want to know is that, you know what, did I cause this? Could I have been a better child to prevent this? And kids always take that burden onto themselves. And when they realize it had nothing to do with them, it was their parents that, for whatever reason, and in this world, we haven't had enough abilities to say it's okay not to be okay. And so to say to the kids, it's okay not to be okay, but let's give you some hope. Let's give you some dreams. Because when you're a foster kid or you're abandoned, you don't dream. You don't have those dreams. And so that's why I introduced you as an earth angel, because you gave that to the kids. And that is so important for, especially as kids who are trying to develop their world and understand their world. And when it gets ripped out from underneath, they don't have a foundation. So I honor you for being that earth angel for these kids, because it makes a difference.
It does make a difference. I just had a young man come by my house on my birthday, May 28th, and he said, you helped me. Their grandmother brought them to counseling. And he thanked me. He said, I'm getting ready to roll in college. So he really thanked me for giving them that hope, because the grandparents have to step in sometime and help the parents when the parents are not taking on the role of a parent. And their parents were into drugs or whatever they were into. And the grandmother, fortunately, I'm really grateful. And the kids are grateful. And I showed him a blanket that she gave me. I still have it, blanket with hearts on it. He said, you still have that blanket? I said, yeah, she gave it to me. I would put it on my couch, on the thing where I would counsel and sit on it. So he was just impressed that I still had that. But it's awesome when we can inspire someone to be better. And when you can see the fruits and see them taking the next step. So it's an honor for me to really be a role model for kids who don't have a role model.
And again, well, you're about my age. So you kind of know that in the 60s is when the family was started to be teared apart in this country. And so the thing was, and it's been a progressive thing since then. And now, with technology, and I love technology because it's finally catching up with me, and I'm being able to get my message out. I'm being able to interview amazing people. However, kids and families, when they're together, they're all on their cell phones. So where's this, spending time together? Parents are working 2 jobs to try to make ends meet. Kids are being left to their own devices. That's scary. Because I keep telling parents, and I've told parents for 21 years out of my 40-year career, the child that you have at home is not the same child that goes out in society and hangs out with their friends. You would not recognize your child.
Yeah, they're so lost. That's why they're doing things to get attention, with guns and violence. They just need some love. And that's why I'm so committed. In fact, on my website, I have, I'm willing to give coaching to coaching or counseling to any struggling entrepreneur who needs help. And the same thing with one child. So if you know any child who needs support, either an struggling entrepreneur, they can get some counseling through my nonprofit organization without paying for it.
And see, I love that, but I think we need to get the message out there. And I see the thing is you're probably the 9th person that I have interviewed that is giving back to the community, especially the children, because you and I knew, and I don't know how I knew, I just knew I needed an education that was going to save me from where I was at in my life. And when I worked with kids at a high school, I was there for 15 years, and it was all about getting them graduated, getting them to understand there's other things in life than girls, boys, drugs, guns, craziness, and that you can be anything you want, no matter what's going on around you, no matter where you came from. You can accomplish things and be successful.
Yeah, they need to know that they matter. And we need, more than ever now, kids are not getting the love and nourishment they need. So if there's anything that we can jointly come to do to let them know they're loved and they're valued and they're appreciated, because they're not getting that message. The TV is their parent, and the phone is their parent. And technology is not loving, it's not kind, it's not, it does, you can't feel it. Can't feel the pulsation in your heart.
And well, not only you can't feel the love, but this is also teaching people hate. This is also teaching people other people's opinions that don't really matter, because we all have opinions.
And some kids want to commit suicide because of the negative things people say to them.
It is about bullying. I wrote a book a long time ago, and it's called Leave My Bubbles Alone, because the bullying starts in the home. And when your sibling starts bullying you and his friends are over and they see it and they start bullying you and he doesn't stop them, they have carte blanche to bully you anywhere, whether it's at home, in your house, their house, at school, and it just amplifies.
Yeah, the parents know, most times the parents are not even aware of it. By the time they become aware, it's already happened. I have so many kids come to me still. I'm still counseling kids coming to me where kids are saying things about them on Facebook and they all upset about it,
Well, here's the thing is people behind a monitor get courageous. They probably would never say anything to their faces, but this gives them an opportunity to be nasty and get away with it.
Yeah, there's so much negative stuff on Instagram and Snapchat has just really destroyed a lot of kids. So we got to let them know that they are loved unconditionally, regardless of who they are and what they are, what they may have, what people think they may have done. They haven't really done a lot of things, really. Right. People just make up things to, build yourself up and step on someone else to build yourself up. And that's where the kids are today. And it's really not supporting their self-esteem, their self-worth.
I was just going to ask you, can we talk about kids and their self-esteem and their anger management?
Absolutely. Yeah, because when you do not feel valued and understood, and when you don't feel no one cares, you have this sense of anger and you don't know why you have it. Well, why? I want to be recognized. I want to be noticed. I want to feel important. And no one is helping these kids to feel important. So they are very angry and confused. And they only thing they know is I want to get noticed. So they get noticed in the wrong way. And so there's a lot of anger out there, unnecessary anger, but it's not. It's a cry. It's a scream. I just want to be acknowledged. I want to be recognized. I want to feel that I matter to someone. So I just want to say to all kids, you do matter. You are important. You have value. And if no one else tells you that, I'm telling you today that you are valued. You're worthy. You are loved beyond measure by Source Spirit, but more importantly by myself.
And I love that, but they can see the thing is kids realize who's authentic and who's not. They know somebody when they're not being that way. However, the thing is the one thought that I love talking about kids, but when you have kids that don't get the help as children, they become adults with issues. And so where do we begin to break the chain to emotional and mental and physical abuse in children and start investing in our children?
I had a young man to write me from the prison, and I'm not sure how he got my website, my address doesn't matter, but he asked if he could get my anger book, and so I sent him my anger book for free. Because when he's a grown young, I think he's like in his 30s, but when someone is reaching out for help, we need to really support them, because anger is just a cry for help, is a cry for love. It's saying that I'm hurting, and there are a lot of hurting people. So I just want to let those of you out there who know that there is a healing balm.
I
And there
love
are people out there who love you. And certainly I would love to love up on you. Go to my website, centerofselfesteem.org, and get some love.
Well, I think just understanding that they matter to somebody
Uh-huh.
is key. And then how do you talk to me about your programs that
Yeah.
you have?
Yeah. God is constantly speaking to me, reinventing myself. So first I was doing the angel readings. Now I'm doing soul readings where God's spirit speaks through me, and it tells people. I do them for the business and your life. And it tells you where you are right now in your life or your business, what is blocking you, and what is your next step. Then I have a 5-week spiritual initiation program that helps you to cleanse up the chakras and help you to be able to receive the mess from spirit, from source, so that you can be more in line with your good and track and bring more of your good inside of you. But you also able to connect with people on a heartfelt level, so that there's a more deeper connection where they feel you and you feel them, and you're heard, understood, and you feel valued in a more profound way. So I really want to get more people in that spiritual initiation program, because it's the beginning of being in the flow of all good. You have more wealth, you have more love, you have more abundance. All the things that's necessary for a lively livelihood is available to you. And I have some spots right now. I have 3 more spots left for my next class to start next week. So if people probably need to reach out to me, because I don't think the discount is on my website. Because it's $4.97 on my website. If they reach out to me personally, I can give them that special discount of $197, and that would be good until this coming Friday. Yeah, but I guess I'll say it, because and yes, they reach out to me at Calendly, www.calendly.com/Dr. Ida Greene /30MIN, and I can give you that $197 discount, which is normally $4.97. So it's a gift because of Christine having me on her show. You're getting it. So thank her, and you can certainly thank me. But she made this possible. So certainly the gift is there.
Well, thank you so much for all of the discounts and the gifts, because a lot of people don't realize that it's bad karma to give and not to receive. And so in that, harmonize yourself in life. And when someone offers you a gift, accept it, receive it, and then give back. And by signing up for your program, it would be giving back, because what you're going to get is going to be amazing methods and practices to change your life for the rest of your life. And you're one choice away in making it.
I agree. We're the same wavelength. Absolutely. I'm in continuous growing. And this outfit that I have, a parent gave it to me for helping her child. Isn't that awesome?
It is. It absolutely is. In fact, the thing is when you help a child, no matter how minor it is, it's so magnified in their world because somebody took the time to say, you're important enough for me to give you this attention. I'd rather give you good attention instead of bad attention or negative attention. And when you can get them to realize that it's okay to accept positive attention, it's okay to say, you look amazing, Dr. Greene. You look amazing, and mean it. And when you accept that the compliments, and a lot of people can't accept compliments. They don't know what to do. They feel so uncomfortable with it. But the first time a young girl gets told by a boy she's pretty, she's on a high heaven. She's rocket moon to the stars because somebody else saw her beauty. And the same thing with boys. When the first time a girl walks by and looks at him and gives him that look, it's like, oh, wow. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. And the thing is but those times, if you can help them walk through those emotions, help them walk through this so that they realize, oh, wait, okay, it's good to be liked. It's good to be liked, but I got an education I got to get. I want to make sure I have a life for me to live. I want to be able to not do the hustle, not do the street thing, not do the craziness, and go to, it doesn't matter if you go to college or vocational school. There's some vocations you can make as much as some people who got 4-year degrees and do it in 1 year. So I recommend for all kids, do not give up on yourself. It's okay to say, you know what? I don't want to do that. That's my choice. But I can do this. That is my choice. And
do something to better yourself, whatever it is, just something. You deserve to have a fulfilling life. And so just be positive, move forward, constantly keep moving forward until the day you leave the planet. Keep moving forward.
And keep being authentic with yourself and saying, you know what, I don't like this, but I do like this. Go for it. Don't think about it. Go for it and do it so that you don't talk yourself out of it.
And have boundaries, let there be some things that you will not do. Have some character, and let there be something that just you say no to. Say yes to something, but something you say no to drugs, no to cigarettes, no to vaping, no to things that's not going to help your body and your mind to evolve.
And I agree. It is about learning your no and knowing you can be a priority. I love that, Dr. Greene. I love that because a lot of kids just want to be accepted. So they'll say yes to almost anything, be accepted, and they end up regretting it.
Yeah. There's something that is not meant for you, and just let that be okay. Everyone's not going to be your friend. You don't need to be 1,000,000 friends. You only need one. So you don't need 1,000. So just find the one who's really sincere, who accepts you as you are, and that's enough. One is enough. One friend is better than 1,000 that's untrue.
And I agree, but here's what I also say: it's okay to be your own friend.
Absolutely. Self-love starts here. We got to love ourselves because people love us the way we love ourselves. If we hate ourselves, then they're going to hate us because that's all they know. So start loving yourself first. You should be your number one champion, your cheerleader, the one that's cheering you on. Look at them. When you get up in the morning, look in the mirror. That should be your best friend.
Yeah, and you're right. The first relationship.
Yeah.
Because if you're angry, you're going to look for people and focus on other people that are angry and to validate how you feel. And then you get into stuff you don't necessarily are aware of or prepared to be involved. And it snowballs. It just becomes like this huge ball of snow that just runs everybody over in the process. And you don't want to be a part of that snowball avalanche.
Anger is just a hurtful emotion. It doesn't heal. It doesn't uplift. It actually destroys the heart and the spirit, and it destroys us in the process. So we need to be really mindful of who we're around, whose presence we're in, and what vibration we're picking up. Because if they're into negativity, we're certainly going to be in the same negativity as well. So we have to be mindful who everyone is not, who would be with us, who's around us, does not want the highest intention for us. So we got to know who is our best friend and who is just wanting to drag us down so that they can lift themselves up.
And that is so true with kids, and it's been true for hundreds of years, because everybody wants to be accepted. Everybody wants to be able to say that they belong to a crowd, whatever that crowd is. If it's band, football, softball, golf, whatever it is, drama, choir, they all want to belong. And up until recently, like I want to say in the last 15 years, a lot of kids of culture didn't have anything to attach to unless you're a guy, and it was like football or tennis or something like that. Where now a lot of schools are doing step teams, and it's just igniting these children to have all this recognition for being this stepper on a step team. And they actually, at the school I was at, they actually allowed them to perform at pep assemblies.
Wow.
And so the thing was, they were able to showcase them in what they were doing, and other people wanted to be a part of it too. So
it can lead to these, like being on these basketball and football, especially on the basketball team. I don't know about football, but but you can definitely be on all these basketball team and be a cheerleaders and, doing things and showing off. Well, even in all the school games, really, they have these cheerleaders.
Right. But the thing is but like I said, they, thinking, for me, it's like helping kids see beyond the limits. Whoever told them think beyond the box just created a box around their head. And now they think they can't get beyond the blocks, that those become limiting beliefs. And so I always think about how can we do something to help them understand that in the correctional system, or in the judicial system, you don't have to be a cop. You don't have to be a correctional officer. You don't have to be a dispatcher. You don't have to be, probation or parole. There's judges. There's lawyers. There's clerk typists. There's aides. There's bailiffs. There's so many different things that you can do and not be that cop for whatever experience that you've had. But it doesn't mean you can't be create difference in doing something that you might like to do. Paramedic, firefighter, any one of these things. So in showing kids, and this is what I did at the high school, showed kids that there was other options they had instead of just this, because a lot of kids are like, I can't afford to go to college. And down in Florida, they didn't have the program that they have here in Tennessee, where here in Tennessee, anybody that's been in the education system here for 2 years in high school gets 2 years free college.
Oh, awesome.
And so that helps. So that's why, and here in Tennessee, you can't drop out of school. It's illegal to drop out of school. You have to go to school till you're 18.
Okay.
And my principal used to go to the students' homes and tell them, I'm not giving up on you, and I'm not allowing you to give up on yourself.
I love it.
And it was, and I told him, I said, this is the first time in 21 years I've ever seen a principal do this.
It's awesome.
But that's what it takes, is the adults to step in and say, you know what, I want to invest in you, and I'm not giving up on you, and I'm not going to let you give up on yourself.
We need more people to do that.
Absolutely, we do. And the thing is we need to make that investment into our children. That's how important they are. Because guess who's going to be taking care of you when you get old?
Somebody other than your family.
Absolutely. Because what are we teaching them? Society's disposable. Everybody's disposable.
And that's why you definitely need to have my motto is I go to meet my family, because you're going to meet your family now or later. And when these skilled nursing facilities, so you may as well meet them before then.
Well, not only that, but the thing is how many people do you are like your children that you never gave birth to because you've kind of adopted them?
Oh yeah, I love kids. I love kids. Yeah, I'll stand in line for hours with a child where I won't do it stand there for myself or with an adult. But kids are our future. They really have hope. They're the hope for tomorrow. And with the right potential, like that boy when I started counseling when he was 6 years old, and now he's 17, he remembered the love I gave him.
But see, that's important. That set a foundation for him, so that he had something to stand on to say, wow, somebody loves me. And what I'm going through is
education. So he came in to tell me I'm advancing myself. It's really awesome. Plus, I just had another little child to graduate and get her doctorate. So I want to be an inspiration to people, because my aunt was an inspiration to me. She was a registered nurse. And so I wanted to become a nurse because my aunt was a nurse. Had my aunt had not been a nurse and her name was Ida, I would not have become a registered nurse. So boys couldn't talk to me about nothing unless you're going to tell me how to become an RN. Don't even talk to me until I get my RN. Maybe we can talk later.
See, you had the forethought of it, that you had to get a career. You had to become your authentic you. And this is what's so important that we don't teach kids. So I love what you do. I love the things that you're willing. I'm the same way. I will go out of my way to help kids become a high school graduate, to help them understand that this is the most important thing in their life, to be competitive in an unkind world. Yeah. And I'm not saying we need to change the world, but we need to change our children so that they can become strong enough to survive anything.
And I want to say too, one of the things that I'm taking it further, because I'm in the process, I have a nonprofit right now. So I'm generating money to send one boy to, at least one or two boys to college. So if you know any boy that wants counseling or coaching now, so that prepare them for college, then have them reach out to me through my nonprofit, which is www.centerofselfesteem.org, because they can get some coaching or mentoring while they get ready for college, especially if they're young. So do see me as a resource to help kids that go to college, especially the African-American boys, because so many of them are in the prison system, and want to divert them from the prison system to college.
And I agree with that. But the thing is we need to get to them when they're in elementary school, because by the time they hit middle school, they all have a different concept and they've been exposed to too much.
Like those little boys that need to go at age 6 and 7, they're like the ones I got. So yeah, so it's just so much work out there that we can still do. So I just want people to know that there's someone out there who's championing you. Certainly myself and Christine, we're on your team.
I love that. And absolutely, when it comes to kids, especially when you've walked a lot of miles that they're walking, you know how they feel, you understand where they're coming from, and trusting people is not their first or strongest skill. So can you give 3 tips to my audience on things that they can do today to better their life, no matter the age?
Absolutely. Realize that the best is yet to come. Always be looking, what is your next best thing? Look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow will be better than today. Know that every day is a stepping stone to a life fulfilled. And if you just live this day victoriously and love yourself to the maximum and give that love out to someone else, you've done what the universe is, what the Creator wants us to do. And that's what we came to do, is to make life better for someone else. When we make life better for someone else, our lives get enriched, because we are in the process of giving, and giving enriches our lives and the lives of other people.
And that is so true. I love that, because the thing is no matter what you do in life, it's what you allow yourself to think about when you were a child. what would be different? What could you do today to make it better for somebody else's child, somebody else's life? And when you think that way, you become a service. And so I honor you for being of service. I know what a school nurse goes through. I've been there. I've had to rescue the school nurse at our school many a times. I delivered a baby.
Wow.
Delivered a baby in the nurse's office because she's walking down the stairs and she's crying. And I said, "Are you okay?" She goes, "No, I have this really bad pain." And I said, "Welcome to motherhood."
Oh yeah, but in the neighborhood where I was, a lot of gang members. I had to really patch up a lot of gang members and shot wounds and all the gunshot wounds and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was the one that shook down the campus to make sure we didn't have any of that, to prevent those kind of issues. I busted a hump because we weren't a community school where I was at. And we had 42 buses that brought kids to school from 5 different areas. So guess what? It was a constant challenge trying to keep everybody getting along.
I can imagine.
and we had 3,000 kids, so it wasn't like it was bad, and the girls were just as bad as the boys. So I was like, what happened?
One-upmanship, want to be noticed,
exactly
want
right.
to be acknowledged, want to be recognized.
Yep, I agree. So Ida, I want to thank you and honor you, but I ask this of all my guests, and that is, take a deep breath in, hold it, and connect to your inner 5-year-old child. And what would she say how far you've come today?
Light years, light years, light years, light years, and there's more to come.
I agree.
To come.
But the thing is she's also saying we never thought we could accomplish this much in our lifetime.
Oh yeah, yep. I have lived 10 lifetimes in this lifetime because I'm still progressing, still moving forward. Started with angel reading, now I'm doing soul readings and messages from God. So I'm just letting God, I don't want to die with any of my talents inside of me. I want all my gifts to be used up. So I'm just constantly expanding. And I just talked the other day with a billionaire. Can you believe that?
Wow, that's awesome.
In the Think and Grow Rich tour. I just thought it would be interesting to talk to a billionaire. And just thinking that thought, I didn't have to pay the $500 or the $2,500. I got to speak to him for zero.
Well, what a blessing. But here's the thing is I love the fact, because you're the type of individual that talks to anybody, whether they're the janitor, the garbage man, or a billionaire, the same way. And that is authenticity. And I love that.
Thank you. That's who I am. And that's, so if I can give you a gift, just be yourself. You're good enough. Everyone else is taken, but you're still here with yourself. So love yourself.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Hold on just one second. It takes a special kind of individual to dream their thoughts and ideas and create a life for them and turning it into a reality when society at the time was against you just because of your color or your ethnicity or your culture. Ida Greene, you have done just that. You stepped past all the fears you had. You stayed the course. You had the courage to do the follow through for yourself, which became so important for so many people. Dr. Ida Greene, you've championed yourself. Now we know who you've become. Thank you for sharing your ideas, thoughts, and dreams with us today.